Hello everyone, this is Muriel Rand from New Jersey City University, and this video is called Writing is Not Spelling and Punctuation. Let's start by taking a look at the New Jersey writing standards, because this is going to help you to understand what we mean conceptually when we talk about writing. In the standards, the first three standards delineate the types of writing that children are expected to do in school. W1 is opinion writing. W2 is informative explanatory writing, and W3 is narrative writing. We break these down into three different standards because the way we teach those three different kinds of writing is different. So W1, opinion writing, that kind of writing is organized by making a claim or stating your opinion and then giving reasons for that opinion. W2, the informative or explanatory writing, is organized by topic with basically a thesis or a topic sentence and then facts or details that back up that information. So it's organized by topic, and then within each topic there are facts. That's different than opinion writing. And then narrative writing, of course, is a story, and that's organized by an event sequence. So you can see that we need to teach those three types of writing in different ways, and we need to give our students different kinds of support for those three different kinds of writing. So in your program, you need to make sure that you're covering all three kinds of writing. The next part of the writing standards is focused on the process of writing. So you might hear this called the writing process. W4 is to produce writing with good development and organization, and this actually starts in third grade. So we don't expect children younger than third grade to be able to organize their writing very well. You know, they're still learning how to put their ideas together. However, we do expect them to do the next two steps, which is to revise and edit their writing. So even preschoolers or kindergartners can write something, and it might be scribble writing, it might be dictation, it might be pictures with just a few labels on it, that they could go back and add more to it. That was what revising might look like in preschool and kindergarten. In the first and second and third grade, we can have students share their work with each other. We can give them feedback, and they can go back and make a sloppy copy to start out with, and then revise it until it is ready to be shared. And then W6 standard is to publish their writing, and publish just means to share it publicly. Publish, they come from the same root, so it means to make it public. And to have somebody else read it. So publishing could be sending it home to mom and dad to read. It could be posting it on the bulletin board. It could be sharing it with the rest of the group by doing a presentation or reading it out loud, or it could be just sharing it with your peers in a small groups situation. So again, the second part of the writing standards is the process of writing, that they're going to organize it and then revise and edit it and publish. And then the last part of the writing standards is on research and writing. So W7 is to participate in shared research and writing projects. And even in preschool, what would this look like? Well, maybe we're going to read a lot of Eric Carle books, and we're going to see the types of things that Eric Carle writes and how Eric Carle might write. Or maybe we'll read a lot of books about frogs, and we'll learn all about frogs. You know, maybe there'll be 3 or 4 different books, and we learn different things about frogs, and maybe we'll make different art projects based on that, or we'll have a bulletin board that shows all the different kinds of things that we learned during our research and writing project. In creative curriculum, these are the studies, right? They are a type of shared research and writing projects. And then W8 is the student's ability to recall information from research sources. So you can see how this is getting them ready for upper elementary, middle school, and high school, right? These standards build on what we will need to learn in order to be able to write research papers later on. All of the standards are focused on college and career readiness. So you can see how even in preschool, we're working towards that. Now, that's it. So what did you notice is not in the writing standards? Grammar, punctuation, spelling. These are in the language standards. Why did the people who wrote the standards for New Jersey, or the Common Core standards that they're based on, why did they do that? Because they're very different processes. Writing, you can be a good writer and be terrible at spelling and punctuation. Think about famous writers. If they wrote a famous book and they couldn't spell very well, they're going to get an editor to help them spell. But if you're good at spelling and grammar and punctuation, it does not mean that you're a good writer. It just means you're a good editor, right? So grammar, punctuation, and spelling are just a type of editing that we do at the end of the writing process, but they are not the writing process. You can be a good writer and not know anything about grammar, punctuation, and spelling. In fact, couldn't you imagine a really good writer that just dictated their novels, right? You could be a fabulous writer, like write spy novels or romance novels and dictate them into a tape recorder or a video recorder, and then somebody else could copy them down. You would still be a good writer because writing is about thinking. It's about gathering ideas and organizing them and then expressing them in a way that someone else can understand them. So again, I'm going to hit hard on this because I find in the early childhood period especially that teachers think that they're teaching writing when they're teaching punctuation and spelling. You're not. That's not writing. It's not even in the writing standard. That's part of language development. And again, it's important in the end that we have grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Why? The only reason why we need grammar, punctuation, and spelling is so that we can publish our work. So this comes into play at the very end of the writing process when we publish. And if we're not publishing the work, honestly, we don't even need to focus on this as much. So again, I'm not saying you shouldn't teach this. This is important, but it's part of language. It is not part of writing. So when you're teaching writing, your main focus is the following process. First, you're getting content to write about. You're either going to read a book and write about a book or your own ideas, your personal experience. You're going to do research. But the first step is to think about what you want to write about. Like, let's say we take the preschoolers for a trip around the neighborhood and we see lots of things in the neighborhood. And then they come back and they write something about my neighborhood. And then second, you need to organize your ideas. So we have 3 different types of writing with 3 different types of organization. They could organize their ideas by writing opinion writing, right? So what did I like best about my neighborhood? And they could draw a picture of something they like best about their neighborhood and maybe scribble write or take dictation about what they really liked about their neighborhood. Or maybe they're going to use it as an informational text in which they're going to write down 4 or 5 things in their neighborhood and give some facts about them. Again, through pictures or scribble writing or dictation. Some preschoolers can do invented spelling. And then, or they could write a story about their neighborhood and write it as a narrative. They could write a story about the field trip and organize it by beginning, middle, and end. You know, first we went here, then we went there, then we went there. Again, they could write 3 different pictures and add some details to that. So you can see how the same content can be organized in 3 different ways based on the 3 types of writing that we teach. And then the third part is we have to actually put our ideas into text, actually write them down. In preschool and kindergarten, we're going to do a lot of dictation. And, you know, by 1st and 2nd grade, kids can start to write their own ideas using invented spelling or however they can get their ideas down in print. And then the 4th step is going to be to read over that, revise and edit the ideas, get some feedback, and then finally to share the writing, which again might be putting it on a bulletin board, sending it home, mailing it as a letter, sharing it with the class, something like that. So this is what is in the writing process. This is the writing standard. And these are the 5 steps that you would be teaching.